Hello everybody and welcome back to M&J Games. I am Michael. Now today we're looking at a beautiful kind of seaside or oceanside park, and as you can see, I mean it's built to be right along kind of whether it's a lake or an ocean, and has this beautiful pier. And this is called Insamniacs Suma Beach Seafront Pleasure Pier. And the description says it's summertime every day at Suma Beach. Check out my YouTube channel, and it's basically Insamniac Gaming. I'll put the link down below. So definitely go check out his YouTube, because he's got a video where he goes over making this park and his other park, which is in Met Gardens. But this will be a fun episode because I've got a special guest with me here today, Corey from WebbGaming. Corey, how are you doing?
Hi everyone. Yeah, I'm doing great, Michael. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to look at this because I think one negative about the maps in this game is they just kind of drop off, right? Like there's no way for you to truly create something that's like seaside. And so this is the best I've seen in terms of trying to make it realistically look like it could be a sea or something like that, you know?
Definitely, it looks beautiful. Just from the sort of overall view of the park, it does look like a beautiful seaside. Definitely something that we have here in the UK. It looks really good. I can't wait to get into it.
For sure, yeah. Now I'm going to head to the entrance, and I want to go ahead and say some of it is because of where my wife and I have our PlayStation located, that if we try to do PS share and all that stuff, it doesn't give the best picture. So we are looking at the park at the same time. We're just both manually controlling it. And so if I'm saying exactly where I'm at, that's just trying to make sure that we're on the same page. Or same thing if Corey's telling me exactly what he's looking at. Because this was just the easiest way for us both to record this and have this joint park tour. All right, so I'm ready to get started. I'm right here at the entrance. And what do you think of this area as we kind of walk out?
I mean, there's only one word for it, really. Wow. The details in the buildings are brilliant.
Oh, for sure.
It really pops out in all the different colours. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it really kind of, I don't know, it gives me this kind of, and I could be totally off base on this, it gives me this kind of French vibe a little bit. And I could be totally off with that, but I feel like, just how the buildings look. And one thing, too, that I think he's done is, let's see. Okay, no, never mind. There are full backs and everything to this building. Because I know sometimes people in the game, when you're building like this main street, there's basically no backs to the buildings at all.
Yeah, they just do a facade, don't they? But no, these buildings, they're perfect in size and shape.
Yeah, for sure. And so this is really, really beautiful as you walk in. And yeah, so we're walking down the main street now. I see the Mexcellente sign. So this is really well done. The only thing I might do differently, and I want to get your opinion on this, is I might take the curb off. And then you could kind of do your own custom curbing to where you don't necessarily have to have the curb along the middle side as well. Because if you can see kind of in this middle kind of median area, since it's wider than the area that's not covered by path, you just kind of have this curb coming out of the end of it. So
yeah, I would agree with that. No, I would agree with that. I think it probably would look better with its own custom curbs.
Yeah. And now let me go ahead and say this though: if that's the only thing I point out here on this main street, right, or the only thing we're pointing out, that means you've done a pretty darn good job on it. So,
and I'll agree with that too. Yeah, I mean, not to say that it's a bad thing, leaving these curbs on. It's not a bad thing at all. It's, it's just our opinion, I guess, of what we might do.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, that's the whole point too when we do these reviews is, we go in and give our insight, right, and kind of what we think, what we notice. Like this arcade is really cool.
Just coming to that now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so to me, this is an area where I would really utilize the not using curbs, and I would place down like a ceiling piece or something to where you can then kind of make it look like it's all one floor and that people can walk anywhere. and you could kind of use one of the barrier pieces kind of along the entryway to distinguish between the ceiling floor path and then the actual path, right? So
yeah. I mean, I was going to go along the same lines and say, like, in the arcade, for example, if we did remove the curbs from the path and then place, I mean, it doesn't even have to be a ceiling piece. There's basic shapes. There's other items as well you could use as flooring.
Oh, for sure.
But just to separate, obviously, the arcade from the road. But
I mean,
but
really,
apart from that, it still looks great.
Yeah, and I like too how this creator did not overdo it in terms of using hundreds of pieces just to create like a custom arcade. You used what the game gave you, which is totally fine. Like, there's areas where we got to save on it, and now I'm kind of looking out towards near this pier area, and I love this wooden building where it says Summa Leisure Pier. That's really cool. So which direction do you want to go first?
Should we go left?
All right, let's go left first. So my thought was we could just follow this path all the way left, and then we can check the pier as we kind of circle back around. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that sounds great. We're heading towards the hyper jump.
Yep. So yeah, now I'm walking by where I see it says welcome. So we'll go out on that pier in a second. But looks like a really well done building. You got amusements, so kind of another arcade area. And so same thing, yeah, I just think removing the curves would make that area look really well. So now we got some buildings, and I think a couple of these might be ones that were given to us with the gaming style, which, I mean, I love how these Riviera buildings look. So to me, that's totally fine and cool. Are you here at it's called Slingshot, this little kids ride?
No, I'm at the hyper jump.
Hyper jump.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. What do you think about I think it's called like a ride skin, right?
Yeah, no, I like that. That is quite nice. It almost, what am I trying to say? It almost reminds me of like bumper cars, where you haven't really got, where you just run onto the ride. You sort of queue up at the entrance on the path, and everyone just sort of runs on and hands their tokens in, and that's the sort of feel I get from it. But it really is good. It looks great.
Yeah, for sure. And I do like how, just how it's decorated and stuff. I think that's a good job. I like the little road signs that are up that are kind of telling you the direction it's going, which obviously you know the direction, but I think that's still a nice touch. And you got some more amusements area, jackpot, looks nice. So now, like you said, we're here at the hyper jump, and we got the big Uncle Sam, it looks like, hanging in there. Yeah, so I think that's well done. I think I feel like there probably could be on this queue a little bit more foliage, but I do like the trees that he decided to use, those kind of tropical jungle type trees.
Yeah, they're sort of they're palm trees, aren't they? I like those trees, especially on this type of, like on the beach, tropical sort of biome. They work really well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't mind me saying, if you look at the burger van just outside, it's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks awesome. I was noticing that too. I'm gonna kind of tear that apart real quick and see, because I think I have an idea of what he did. Okay, wow. Okay, so this isn't actually. I was thinking it was maybe a car, but basically that's not true. What he did was he just put wheels under it to look like it's being towed, right? And using the iron girders created this kind of towing area. And then which one is this that's holding the girder in place? Oh, that's the screen mount. So using the screen mount from the ceiling. Oh, that's really cool. And then he just used rectangular pieces like squares and stuff to actually make up the building. That's really, really well done.
And I like the little, I don't know if you noticed the toilets next door.
Oh yeah,
we have those dotted everywhere in the UK, and that's really good.
Yeah, I didn't even notice those were toilets at first. Yeah, so I guess you got the toilets there, and then you just the doors and stuff were put around it. Yep, fiberglass elevator doors. Yep, really, really creative right there.
Before we head back towards the centre, the pier,
Hmm.
um, there's a car park right next door as well, and an entrance to the beach. If you want to take a quick look at the beach.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, if you look to the left as well, it looks like an area that's being trying where they're going to be building a coaster or something. So it looks like an area that they're doing the terrain, and so I think that's well done. Also,
That
got
is
some iron girders and different things in here, and barrels kind of representing construction. Now, the only thing I'll say, and um, I feel like Insomniac on this part of it, he obviously built these cars from scratch back before we even had cars, right?
Yeah.
So now he could just use the cars that are in game, and it'd save a lot of pieces that could go towards other areas of the park. But I love though how there's like a little road here, right? That kind of just goes in this tunnel, like that's an exit.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what adds to the sort of seaside theme. Is
Hmm.
it's like it's just a road that comes through, but obviously you've got this whole seaside um, seafront, as we call it here in the UK. I'm not sure what you call it in the US, but we call it a seafront, and yeah, it really adds to the theming.
Yeah. Then I like the little YouTube signs to advertising for his YouTube channel. Oh yeah, I love how he did this little pier area or little not pier, sorry, this little area where the boats are, and he obviously special made this large sailboat over here. Um,
Oh yeah,
that is really well done using, just using like rectangular or are those actually walls? No, those are
yeah.
rectangles. That's really cool.
Oh wow.
Really.
Yeah, just the basic shapes and the
Yeah.
wooden decking.
And I mean, before we go look at the pier, because you're totally right about this. This beach is awesome, which I'm kind of here looking at it right now. Um, but it's like, I mean, just kind of look at the view on the other side of the beach, right? That kind of little hillside. I mean, it looks awesome.
Yeah, definitely. And to be honest, I will say, and I think I don't know if a lot of people agree, but the path in this game, the sort of the land path or the one that blends in with the terrain. I don't like the little things that they put on it. The little,
Dude, me
the little.
neither.
Yeah, it'd be so much better if they did this path without those little things that people could still walk on. But
Yeah,
apart from that, yeah, no, this beach looks fantastic.
yeah, for sure. If I can go on a quick tangent, I 100% agree with you. I think there's a couple things that really irk my nerves that Frontier just somehow can't work out. Which one of them is why in the world can we remove the curves on the ground or the curbs on the ground, but not on elevated paths? Like that
Yeah,
just makes it so awkward at times when you're trying to hide that curb. And then same thing here. Like why can't we remove? Like it's great that it can blend into the environment, but why in the world do you have to have this? Like the computer knows where the guest can and can't go. Um,
exactly. It's not like the guests are going to wander off on just in some random direction.
yeah. Then the other one
But
is
yeah,
letters. Like why in the world can they not give us three or four different sets of numbers and letters that we could make signs out of? Like how difficult is that to have all 26 letters of the alphabet in the game?
yeah, no, that's very true.
Yeah. All right.
I
So
agree.
done with our venting. Let's head out to this pier area. And so I've just kind of got an elevated view of it right now. I mean, it looks very packed, but in a good way, right? Kind of reminds me a little bit of Navy Pier in Chicago or um, one of the piers kind of in LA where they've just got this long pier. So I'm going through the welcome sign right now. Man, this is super packed. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I mean, this is what you would expect in a UK seaside. Every pier you go on here when it's hot anyway is just like this. It's packed and it's like the sight lines are brilliant, especially with that Mario and Luigi dead
Mm-hmm.
ahead. Um, I really like it.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, Mario and Luigi, that's really well done. I'd love to know if you're watching this Insomniac. Did you do that? Is it off the workshop? Like, because that's just really, really well done. And even if you got off the workshop, it's really well placed. So like, I'm not one of those that, oh, you got something off the workshop, that means it's not good. Like, no, you still have to fit it into your park to where it seems like it naturally fits, right? So I think that's really well done. So I'm heading to the left this time, or I guess we headed to the left last time too, but yeah, I like this little bumper cars that are elevated. Anything else you're noticing?
Yes, actually, because I tried to build a pier myself, and I was trying to figure out how to put the ride down, because obviously you get that awkward gap around the edge of it. But if you look between the path and the ride, he's used let's have a look, modern wood roof
to
blend in with the path. And I like that because it doesn't leave any awkward gaps that you'd get if obviously we tried, well, like when I tried to do a pier.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that. You just have it blend in with the path. That's awesome. And see, this is even more of like an example of where I say, why can't we get rid of these curbs on elevated terrain? Like,
yeah,
it's annoying that it's like, yeah. But I do like the special, the fencing you used here, and then you put kind of the side looks nice too. How he didn't use the custom supports. He used his own supports. In terms of used his own wooden beams instead of the ugly ones the game gives you.
Yeah, no, that's true. I like that as well, because the ones that the game comes with, they don't sit right. They don't really go with anything.
Yeah. Hey, did you notice another one of these great food vendor things, but this time it's refreshments?
Yeah. No, I really like those, and if you haven't already, Insamniac, put those in the workshop.
Yeah, for sure. Or if they are in the workshop, let us know specifically what it's named so that we can utilize it, or even just download it to kind of break it down and see how you made it. Yeah, so now I'm looking at this, whatever this, I don't know the name of this one. What's this one called? The Serpent, the one on the left, the next one you come to on the left.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a swinging claw, isn't it?
Yeah, now this one, I don't know if anybody saw the Six Flags Over Texas vlog that I did, but they actually had a ride like this in Six Flags Over Texas, and it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. The worst part was it's so disorienting, like seeing the sky move like that. But I gotta say, that's the most scared I've ever been for a ride in my life. Like,
yeah, no, it's good, and I like the way this ride is positioned, so that when it does come out, it's like you're going over the sea a little bit. So obviously adds to the thrill.
oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean that one, and then the cube one next to it. I mean, look how that thing spins. Like, that is crazy. Just the engineering behind it.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen one of these in the real world.
Yeah, that's the one I was saying I saw at the Six Flags Over Texas that I rode, that my buddy forced me to go on. And I think what's scariest about it is you are buckled in with the seatbelt, but like when you're basically face down to the ground, the only thing keeping you from falling is the fact that a computer is making sure your restraints are locked. Like, it's like, I don't know.
When you think of it that way, it makes it even more scarier.
Yeah, but yeah, this is really well done. So I'm just doing an elevated look at it now, and we've got one of these almost like Louisiana. I say Louisiana because I'm in the U.S., so I just think of places I've been to, but it's kind of like Louisiana style showboat. Yeah. So anything else stand out to you on this pier?
I love the way all the like how many rides he's managed to get on this pier. I mean, because it's not a massive pier. You know, it's quite a small pier, but it's very compact and there's a lot on it. And I think he's done really well with that.
Yeah, for sure. I just noticed this Matrix sign, and then you've got these it's got like a spider animatronic, but he's covered it up with other art pieces to kind of create a. I don't exactly know what that's supposed to be, but it looks cool.
That's really good, actually. I like that.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna head to the top of this Ferris wheel just to kind of get a view of the park from what the guests would see on the Ferris wheel, and yeah, I mean it looks nice. I think he really captured the essence of it being like a seaside town. It's not like it's just a theme park, right? Like, yeah, you got your rides, but I mean, you've got these. Kind of reminds me of like in Florida or something, where you'd have these $1 million high rises that don't necessarily all look like super nice, but the fact that they're right on the ocean is a high price tag, right?
Yeah, definitely. Just looking. Oh, I'm trying to look at the light. If you look at the Matrix building again,
Yeah.
the way he's got the lights all the way around the roof.
Oh yeah. Wow. Let's This would be a great time to look at things at night. Let's see. Oh wow. Turn to nighttime and see how well everything's lit up on the pier.
Oh wow, that is good.
Yeah.
That,
I mean the whole and all
that's
the
perfect.
arcade areas. I mean, look back at the city lit up like this. Really, really nice.
Wow, an overall view. I mean, I love the seaside anyway. I'm not too far from the seaside. Um, as you know, I'm down in southeast London, so I'm not too far from the seaside, and I love going there, especially at night when you've got, um, like piers and things like this on the seafront. And one of my closest ones is Southend on sea, and it's just like this. It's all lit at night time. It all lights up just like this, and they've got a fun fair and they've got a pier down there and that. And just looking at this from an overview, it's captured perfectly in terms of a seaside, and the lighting is brilliant.
Yeah, this looks really good. So you ready to head and see the rest of the park?
Yeah, I'm right behind you.
All right, let's walk down on the beach this time. I'm sure we'll come back around and see, but let's walk on Suma Beach.
Yeah, right down here next to the food.
Yeah. I do wish they had like boat animatronics, and sorry for the glitching if there is any, not glitching, any freeze frames, but I wish they had boat animatronics that could actually move, to where they kind of had a path in the water, and I just think that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they have got the boat ride in the game now, haven't they?
Yeah, they do.
I guess you could sort of use that because they've got the two different styles, haven't they? One's got like a trough, and the other one's just sort of on a rail.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you say, I think Insamniac built this before. Was it before those rides came out, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think those rides might have been out, but even with those, you have to have an entrance and an exit, and like it'd just be cool to have like those boats that he has just sitting out there, have it as an animatronic where it kind of like has a certain path that it follows or something,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that's a really, really nice touch, though. Kind of. Well, and one thing too we haven't really talked about is how he's merged the terrain here. Like, I feel like that's so tough when you're making water to kind of just have it naturally kind of fade off like that. But it looks like a beach. So.
Yeah, that's true. I was just looking at that. I'm looking at along the beach, sort of along the water line, and the way it slants down is perfect.
Yeah.
Again, the only thing I would say is just these paths. It's the only thing I can see on this beach that obviously doesn't go with it, but unfortunately it can't be helped. But apart from that, it looks brilliant. It looks like an actual beach.
Yeah, for sure. Looks really well, and I like how this over here after this last food truck, how he merged kind of the pathway down to the beach. I think that looks awesome. I think that's really well done. You kind of got the sand, but so in theory you could have like a truck drive down here and put its boat in the water or something like that. Really well done. So I'm still staying on the beach though. As I see, we've got another little walking area we can get to. Oh, you see this little hut here?
Just looking at it now.
Yeah, it's like an ATM machine, but it's a little cool,
I think I
hut.
saw one of them on the other side of the beach as well. But yeah, no, they are really cool.
Yeah, it'd be cool for if he was to ever expand on this, if he gets a PS5. Well, I think he actually just recently got a PS5. Now that I think about it, to build kind of like a little food and beverage area using that style of building, that little kind of tiki hut type thing. Love these lawn chairs, made out of rectangular pieces. That's really well done. Oh, we got a coaster back there, which is the name of the game, right?
That's it.
Yeah. All right. So now, actually, before we do that though, because I noticed, so I do like how there's a little walkway with seats out here on this kind of rocky area, which there's one person walking over here. I think that's really well done. But let's see. I like how if you go across the lake, there's like this random grouping of a couple houses out here.
Oh yeah.
It's like, how about that view when you wake up every morning, huh?
Imagine it at night.
Yeah, or at night, yeah. I mean, and you got some coverage. I mean, you could literally walk out of bed basically naked and nobody would know anything else and just stare at the world beyond you. And nobody can see anything. So, yeah, I like that touch. Really, really nice. And there's, what's this down here? Oh, there's like did you notice these gravestones down here? Wait, is that gravestone or is that, oh, nope, never mind. That's my bad. I think that's supposed to be like a surfboard. Or I could be wrong.
A little lost.
All right, so yeah. If you look, so if you're looking out of that house that we were just looking at, and you look down to the little beach area in front of it.
Oh yeah, that's it. I'm with you.
Yeah, and this person made he made a sandcastle, which that's pretty cool. But
that is pretty cool.
I first thought those were supposed to be like tombstones, but I think they're surfboards, right?
Yeah, I think they probably are.
Okay. All right, so now let's head back to where that coaster's at. Well, before we do that, is there anything else that you noticed there, or?
Not anything in particular. I do like the way it comes, the sort of merge from the beach to the path, the main path.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so now I'm heading over to this coaster, and I like how it looks like there's another area with a crane of stuff being built, and we'll get to that in a second. But if we go over here, this is called, well, I guess, is the park called Funland, or is that the name of it? Yeah.
No, I think the name of the coaster is Surf's Up.
Surf's Up, there we go. Yeah, it looks like a popular coaster. Not a very long line for it, but I think I don't know if you've noticed this, but what kills this game the most is pass, particularly queue line pass. So I try to never make my queue lines too long. So it's a Typhoon coaster, Typhoon Bar Heist, and I'll let you know when we're going up the lift hill and stuff. Let's look at the results. So everything's good, green across the board. G's are a little bit higher for vertical G's, but overall looks good. So we just started going up the chain. So enjoy the ride. Man, we are inching up this chain. But I like it. It makes the anticipation more. right, so we are just getting back to the station. What are your thoughts?
I like that. It's very quick, very
Mm-hmm.
sort of left turn, right turn. I like it a lot. Um, Especially, I don't know if you noticed when going up the chain lift. Um, if you look to the right, you get great views of the rest of the seafront.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I'm sure that's probably why he had it going slow. So in theory, you could get some good views of the area.
Should we take a ride at night?
Yeah, let's do that. Let me change it to nighttime real quick. Oh, sorry. Hold on. All right, perfect timing. All right, we're going down the first hill now. All right. So yeah, I just feel like this now. Maybe this is because the limit was hit too, and just kind of running out of stuff to do. But I feel like there could have been some lighting in the coaster area. You know.
What do you mean?
So like at nighttime, if you're looking at nighttime, most of the park's lit up really well, but there's really no lights around the coaster. I mean, you got a couple areas where you have some lights, but overall, like there's not too much lighting where the kind of the coaster path is going or the coaster track is going. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, no, I do agree with you, but I do think with the lighting that it does have, it is lit up quite well in terms of the track.
Yeah, I
Not the
agree with that
area
for
as
sure.
such, but the track itself is a nice colour and lit up nicely.
Yeah. Oh, and one thing too, if anybody's ever wondering, because I know like, because I think there's one inversion that could have been smoothed a little bit more, but it's really tough to do that unless like to smooth custom inversions perfectly unless you do the 4 meter method. So if you're ever wondering if a coaster was a 4 meter coaster, you can just click on it and delete it and look at the percent of how much. Well, actually, that didn't help because um, it was still at 100%. So that means that this creator and used the glitch method a little bit to cheat the system. But in general, like if you delete a coaster and it only takes a 4%, that means it was made generally with longer or average size track pieces. Whereas if you made, like if this coaster was made using the 4 meter method, it would probably take up about 9 or 10% of the counter just because of the amount of 4 meter track pieces that it would use. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense, but I didn't actually know that, so I've learned something new today myself. Yeah, I didn't actually know that with the 4 meter technique, it took up more percentage.
Yeah, and I don't know why. It's one of those things that just makes zero sense that Frontier didn't fix or didn't specify. And I think it has to do with the fact of it being an individual piece. And each piece that's placed has whatever the coding is that's created for that piece in the game. And so the game doesn't recognize the difference between a 4 meter piece and a 24 meter piece. So that's why I tend to use longer pieces when possible to create a coaster because you just get more of them in your park. Um, which is why like Ted07386 or Coaster Creations on YouTube, he can't make mega parks because he does such a great job with his 4 meter coasters, but he can only have like 2 of them in a park, you know,
Yeah.
because it just kills the counter. But yeah, so I'm starting to walk to the right now. I mean, I like how he continued these kind of food truck things along the entire park and the bathroom area that you're mentioning before.
Yeah, but again, it works with the theme because if you walk down the seaside or seafront here in the UK, you'll have these sort of things all the way along it. They're normally chip shops or donut stands, but yeah, it fits perfectly with the theme.
Yeah, for sure. Got those. You got another Uncle Sam thing hanging. Oh, a minion. Love minions. Um, is that a? I didn't realize you could have like a ghost entertainer walking around, but yep. Um,
I think the Ghost Entertainer came with the Ghostbusters pack.
yeah, that makes sense. Did you notice there's another kind of exit for cars and stuff over here? So I think that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
And then we've got this other area that's under construction that looks like it's going to be some kind of high rise since it's a building. So I like the fact that it's like part of the building is partially built. Um, and then over here, I don't know if you noticed this, but there's a he created his own kind of whatever those are called, where you put kind of all the material and stuff and take it to the dump. Um, that yellow container. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, Skip.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like that. It's got
Yeah.
some items in it already.
For sure. Really well done.
By the sign on the outside of this, where it says "Coming soon, book now," I'm going to take a wild guess and say it's going to be some sort of hotel, maybe.
Yeah. That's
Insomniac. Let us know if we're right.
Yeah, that's a good guess. So I wonder because I know he put on his, I believe it was his YouTube channel the past week, that he did get a PS5. So I wonder if this is a park that he'll revisit and do some other things with. And so, man, did you notice this pool right here? That's really cool. This like hotel.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Really well done. I feel like these are tough to make your first time, just not really knowing how to get the water where you want it to be. But I think it's really well done. And I like the use of the haunted house building wall pieces there to kind of create the edge of it. I think that looks good.
I was just looking at that. Yeah, no, it does look good.
Yeah. And then you got this kind of building piece. Because I've always wondered with this building wall piece, what's it called? It's called the glass wall meter, the one that's creating the kind of wall and barrier. I've always wondered where would be a good place to use that. Well, now I see, because I think it looks really well right here.
Yeah, no, I've had struggles with those in the past, but they are a sort of modern type of window, aren't they? And perfect, as we can see, for hotels.
Yeah. Now, I just noticed maybe my favorite area in the park.
Would it be? Hang on, I'm looking around. Would it be that other hotel, maybe?
Yeah, this elevated hotel and pool area.
Yeah.
I just think it looks really cool.
No, that looks really great.
And I mean, look at the view from up there.
Yeah. No, I love it. It's brilliant.
And I'm looking at the view at night now, where you can kind of see everything on the pier lit up. So it looks really nice. So.
Yeah, if you stand at the viewpoint from that hotel where the swimming pool is, the elevated one. If you stand, there's a viewpoint right at the front where the gate, where the fence is. If you stand there and just look along the seafront, over towards the pier.
Yeah, it
and
looks
even
beautiful.
over towards the coaster. It just looks brilliant.
Yeah, it looks really good.
It's definitely a hotel I would stay in.
Yeah, probably cost a pretty penny for sure.
Yeah.
So it'd be one that would hurt the wallet and would make me, yeah, it would be worth it. Now look at this other. I didn't notice this before when we came in. This other elevated area. It looks like another kind of hotel resort area. Yeah, what you got?
Yeah, up the walkway.
Yeah, you got another pool, and looks like it's got multiple kind of hotels that feed off to it. So this is really well done. This part right here, I think all this elevated area is probably my favorite, just because this is tough to make this look nice, and he definitely did it.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, you know me, I like to play with the terrain and that anyway, but he has used the terrain tool very effectively in this park. There is so many different elevation changes. It's brilliant. I mean, even from this pool area within these hotels, going back down to the main street, I'm impressed. Well done.
Yeah, for sure. Now, before we end, I want to mention this real quick to people because I feel like I mentioned it on the Discord before, but we're talking about this creator and other people who upgrade to a PS5. So I think most people say, and I'm a math teacher, so this is why numbers make sense to me, but most people say that PS5 has 33% more capacity than PS4, and that's actually incorrect. It's actually about 49 to 50% more capacity, simply because if you think about, like, for anybody who's got a PS5, it shows the percentage of your park, and when you hit 67%, it says that you've hit the PS4 limit. Well, the extra 33% that you can play with is in relation to, you got to look at that in relation to what percent has already been used. So on the PS5, if you've still got 33% left to be built, you can divide that by 67, which is the amount that's been used, and it comes out to like 49%. So there's actually a lot more you can do with a PS5 in terms of the build limit compared to a PS4. So just hopefully that makes sense, and hopefully I explained that well.
Yeah, it made sense, sort of.
Yeah.
But you're a lot better at maths than me, so.
Yeah. All right. Well, is there anything else that you noticed or wanted to point out here in the park? Because I'm just kind of doing a general elevated overview of it right now.
Yeah, nothing really in particular that we haven't already spoken about. But I will just say again before we end that the buildings are excellent. They are top notch in terms of detail, different shapes, sizes, styles, colours. They really stand out and it's brilliant. So very well done, Insomniac. It's really good.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Really, really enjoyed this. And as I said, make sure to go check out his YouTube. The link's in the description below. Make sure to check out WebbGaming's YouTube, and the description's in the link below as well. And we haven't really discussed how often we're going to do videos like this together, but we definitely want to do more tours together. And we'll probably switch off in terms of one being on my channel, one being on his. Um, so just make sure and be on the lookout for that. And so thank you so much, Corey, for joining me.
Thanks for having me, and I look forward to the next one.
For sure. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day.